Good morning. I'm very close, but that's the only way that you can see me and my book. So not done yet, but it's close. So I worked on my fabric journal the whole day yesterday. My fingers are actually nearly full of blisters. It is so tough to work with a needle, no matter how sharp it is, through these acrylic jelly plate prints on fabric. But I did it, I'm doing it, I'm loving it. But I must say, last night at the end of working in here for about the whole day, I had enough. I was fed up. I looked at this and I thought, oh, this is definitely the ugliest thing I've ever made. But I left it, went to bed, and now after I made our breakfast, went to the shops, my gardener is here, I thought, let me look at my book. Let me just see. And as I started, I thought, I'm going to make a video. Let's look through it together. Let's see what I created and what it is doing to me while I go through it, because this is amazing. This is different than all my others. Cloth, it makes it a different feel. It's as if all my senses are now working when you go through this. There are so many things. It's the smells of the fabric, it's the touch, it's just crazy. But let's go. This is the front. My front was a little bit too floppy, so I added two pieces of hard paper in there. I still need to stitch it closed, but so now it's much better. Still soft, but better. And the front, I love these two jelly plate prints that I used. I love the color, I love the feel. It's a very, very soft cotton, and I love it. It's now fantastic because it's just a little bit more sturdy, that I love. But now what to do in front? Oh, I tried everything. And then when I went into my cupboard with all my stuff, you know, all my friends, or some friends, they give me all the stuff that they no longer use. They either go to sell their houses, or their mothers go to the old age home, or they move into a smaller place, and then I get all the extras. And this is what I found in it. Look, it is just a little thing. Isn't it gorgeous? So I thought, I'm going to work that on. I even found pink yarn, thick yarn that goes with this. So I put that on. I found a little book that I made years ago. I think I've got a video. It's just music sheets inside, a leather on, you know, and then these little things were also in there. So I just put that on the front, and this just brings everything together. As I say, I wanted to use only natural fibers and stuff, but I had to laugh at myself because I used acrylic paint on my jelly plate prints. So that's not very natural, but apart from that, everything is natural cotton, linens, and leather, and this, I think it is supposedly wood. I'm not sure it is, but I think it is, so that goes for that. So let's just go through it. These are just jelly plate prints. Some of them I tore pieces off, and at this stage I was still only sewing with the sewing machine. There you can see more jelly plate prints. Then I started to use glue, and I just glue that little square on. Isn't that gorgeous? More jelly plate prints, more. You remember that I made marks on cloth. That is just one of those. And then yesterday I went wild. I tore a jelly plate print up, one of those of mine that looks like a scenery, you know, the people walking in the tree. And the piece that was there, it actually looked like a window. So I thought, okay, let's just glue that on. So I started gluing people, you know, on my carrot people. This is just jelly plate prints. Look, I started to do the slow stitching, different kind of stitches. I just went with it. I don't care. That was the second one of my things that I got. I still cannot remember what you call this in English. We call it draad. You know, you bend it and you use it in the felt and things. I'll get to it as soon as my mind comes back. I'll say the word. So look, once again, just more jelly plate prints on top of each other. Just worked it on. There comes my people. Once again, it looks like a window. Let's call it the window of the soul. What do you see? So I just glued that on. So the color scheme, there's none. Really, I was just going for it. I think the red helps to pull it together. I used most of the slow stitching. I was going for the red just to pull things together. That is another jelly plate print, and actually I am starting to, just let me find this. The last thing I did last night was starting to put little sayings and words onto paper. So this morning I thought, okay, you know, I need to make this a little bit older. So I first dipped it in my coffee and then I threw tea leaves on it, and this is it. So I thought, you know what, there are so many little pockets that automatically came into being as I was sewing. So I am just going to add little letters into the pockets with sayings on. So when you go through it and you see, oh, there's something sticking out, you just take it out and read it. So all of these things just came into being. As I said, once again, I started, you went through my whole, I think this is now number 7 of this DIY fabric book. So how this came unfold, you know. And once again, your book will never ever look like mine. Mine does not look like anything I've seen on the YouTube as well, but it's still a book made of fabric. So you start with what you have, you create things, you start to put them together. Don't think, just go for it, and at the end you will, I cannot tell you this. I've learned so much. I loved every moment. This is once again just some jelly plate prints. And then once again, this was, remember months back I made a beautiful dress that I hand painted. This is just the blue piece that I once again glued on. I thought, you know, why not glue? I can glue as well. Look how beautiful that is looking. Once again, my marks. And there's another jelly plate print that I did, one of my last ones. Remember, I needed some black, and there was a little pocket. I'm not done with this yet. I don't know what I'm going to put on it, but I thought, oh man, let me just put a piece of music sheet in. So you see how it unfolds, just like life. Every day, just do what you can, and your life is unfolding. So we went to the beach. I picked up some shells and I thought, how am I gonna get shells in here? It's another love of mine. And I thought, okay, this little one I will be able to fasten this with a little string that then you can drop it in, pull it out. So when you go through the book, you see this and you think, what is this? And you just pull, wow, a shell. You see, there are so many things that you can do. Just love life. I wrote that on there in one of the videos. There's just a beautiful jelly plate print. This is actually a piece of the embroidery vintage linens that I used to make a dress. There you can still see a piece. This is actually beautiful. I didn't realize the printing would look so beautiful even on that old embroidery cloth, linens. A little hard, but once again, it's not seen. So when you turn the page, wow, there's a little heart. So every page you turn, this is also new, you need to put it in place. It's not like a book where you just flip a page and it falls into place. This you need to touch, you need to go over it. It's a different feeling, it's crazy. So I thought, just bring the heart in there. Really at this stage my fingers did not want to do it, so I just glue it on. And then once again, love, you know me, life, love, it's all one. We are unconditional love in spirit. So this is just glad to be alive book, become still and know all is well. Just look there, it's just a piece of cloth that I tore off somewhere and I just stitched it on. The back you can see the stitch at the back. So look at this, I have still not finished that. I said my book was not finished yet, but I found this a little thing when I bought some chicken livers the other day, and I thought, just glue a piece of jelly plate print on. I will write something there, I'm not sure what. That was there as well, the little string. So I saw that and now it's just going in there. Once again, when you go through it, you just pull it out and there will be a little something on it eventually, or not, who knows. So you can see the different oranges. This I still need to work. I haven't done that yet, or I can keep it open, but there's nothing beautiful there, so I'm still thinking about it. Perhaps make another pocket, who knows. Another heart, you need 3 hearts. Once again, different jelly plate prints that I just worked onto it. The back of the heart, look how beautiful that is coming through. I worked the heart and there is the back. Awesome. So my leaves that I used in black ink, I think they will actually stay like this because the acrylic black, I used that on my jelly plate print. So this is actually very black. So I love it. There you can see the orange coming through. These are the black onto my eucalyptus leaves. I made a little pocket there. So, never done this before. Once again, use what you have and create what you love. Awesome thing happened. Yesterday morning, I was sitting, going through my phone in bed. As I told you many times, my Facebook and my YouTube and stuff, I only watch things that speaks to me. So it's like a morning meditation when I go through my stuff. And I saw a piece of art, and the man wrote something underneath about it, and he said the joy of poking holes, something like that. And oops, something came on in my head, and I thought I can make little holes in my cloth and then put pieces of cloth through it. So I started to tear off thin pieces of cloth. This is now not what I just put this through. The red there was yarn that I just worked this green on the orange, and I saw it, and this I just went through it with my big needle and my pieces of thin cloth. Still, I need to put this on. I haven't finished that yet. Once again, I used the idea, and there's a leaf in, and I was just making a little knot, keeping the leaf in place. Some beautiful jelly print. Remember, I used the string and just on black. This is now, okay, this is more jelly prints. You can see I still got lots to do if I want to, or not. Who cares? A piece of there, it was too green, so I just glued a red piece on. Look at these beautiful ones. The back of that, the work that I did there, look how beautiful that is looking. So you see, remember I said I don't want to have mine padded or whatever you call it. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I want the back as well. So it's working out perfectly. Look at my back. So whenever I'm doing something in the front, I am keeping in mind what is going to happen at the back. Look how beautiful that is. It's just one piece that I put in, just a little bit of red and a different red yarn, and it gives it the most beautiful idea. And look there, the red's coming through at the back. Then I needed another piece, so I just glued one on. No, I worked that one on. It wasn't glued, the back of that one. And this was the piece of plant that I picked up on our way from the beach. And I thought, you know what, it is so beautiful. And then I just worked it on. There it is. A piece of, it's not a fern, I think it is a palm, piece of palm tree in my little book. Look at the back, isn't it gorgeous? Just some slow stitching at the back. This is what I actually did. Remember I told you the holes, poking holes, so I just made little holes with my scissors, and I just worked this through. And this actually made a huge difference when I started doing that. It was pulling all the pinkish colors together again. Once again, you can see there's still my pins. Look how beautiful is the back of that other one, but there I worked my other leaves onto it as well. I just thought, let me make huge stitches and go over them, not through them as I usually do. So this is something new. Once again, I didn't poke holes in the leaves, I worked it over it. Something new I've done. The love, I wrote this also in one of my, there's another one, look there, holes in it, just worked some pieces of thin cloth through it. See how beautiful that is making. And then once again, I think this was the first woman person I put on in the book. I thought I just wanted to put a person there. Jelly plate print that I, also on cloth that I cut out. Once again, freehand. I didn't draw anything. It just needs to be a hint of a person. And then there was something I didn't like, so once again I just made little holes and pulled that in. So whatever you don't like, cover it with something, you know. There's another piece of linen that I found in my cupboard. So it's awesome. Also, when you go through it, you will see, I don't really like that. Or, oh, I love this. There are so many different things. Look at the back of that one. Another beautiful jelly plate print. But once again, it was too far above. There was a piece open, so I did my whole thing. Poke in the holes. Another beautiful jelly plate print of my leaves. And there's just more marks that I put on the pink back of it. More black. So this is it. So this, you can see the work that I did is just little crosses or whatever you call it. That I worked it in like that, and that is the back. I had to fasten this orange, and then I looked to the front and I saw, okay, let me do it in white and just make sure it's not on the printed leaves. So I am working with a plan, you know. So I didn't want my work to be on the leaves. And then I realized that orange was too much, so I tore it in two, actually three, before I now stitched it on. And then I thought, let me just make a little pot there and put one of my other leaves in. So just look how beautiful it's coming. You know, last night I nearly threw the book away. Luckily I didn't. Look at the back of this slow stitching, how beautiful that is. To me, in any case, another leaf. And then I started to, you know, remember I wrote life. I think it was life. And I said I want to put one on each page. So there's just the L, and when you go, I don't know what I'm going to do there. If I'm going to do it, I actually like it. So there's the I, F, E, life. And then once again, there's a little heart. This time I painted it. Oh, I just drew it on my cloth, and I haven't fastened that yet. Perhaps I'm going to make a little pocket again and put a little saying in there, you know, message. So there you can see another pocket. There's some more leaves. They are just loosely, just put them loosely in there. More leaves. So this is it. As I said, I'm not done yet, but it's very, very close, I feel. And I am really loving it. As I said, one of the things that's very different is the touching with this cloth. You want to make sure that it is in its right place, so you touch it. It's beautiful. I love it. Different. And this is the last page. Once again, you can see each one of those pages from an old photo album that I cut in size. I just need to work that. So this is it. What do you think? And if I can, you can, and yours are going to look differently, but uniquely you. The same with your life. It's an unfolding. It's a continuous work, the same as our life. We are continuously working on our life. This is never going to be finished. You know, there's always something more that I can do. And that is the awesomeness of this. And it was so funny when I showed my husband. He said, and what are you going to do with it? You know, first question, the one that I asked before I started, and I could say, I really don't know. But what I've also realized is, even though this is very personal to me, I am not putting names in or anything that is that personal. So I can always give it away as a present, sell it, whatever. So it's not that it is so personally mine, like a photo album, you know. This is just personal, you know what I mean? I personally made it, and I gave it my all, and my heart and soul is in this, but I'm not putting my name in it, if you know what I mean. Or my husband's name, or my kids or grandkids, or whatever, my life. It's just like a piece of art, you know. This is really just a piece of art that came out of me. It's just amazing. And really, as I say, if I can do this, you can do it. It is extremely easy, and you can use whatever you have. This is not an expensive thing to make. It does not have to be hard. Remember when I said in previous videos, I started really struggling to put the book together, slow stitching, and I thought, you know what, you've got a machine. Just sew with the machine. And that was the best thing ever. So I did a lot of them with the machine, and then I realized at places, no, I love the slow stitching more. So actually, most of my machine sewing were done in the construction of the book, and lots of times when I added more little pages in like there, I sewed it with my machine. It's just easier, and it really doesn't care. There's another one that I sewed. So mostly the sewing is done. It's not part of the actually artworks, whatever. But I absolutely love the slow stitching. The interesting thing, you can see that it is a piece of white little ball of yarn, but some ink fell on it. I don't know when or where, and sometimes it will be pieces of red coming through, otherwise other colors, and I actually love it. Look how beautiful that it is looking. And once again, I make a little knot to start with, and when I'm done, I either make a double stitching thing there, or I just leave it. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just have to be you. You know, so that is, if I had to do this, I don't want to use the word perfectly, but more neatly, more structured, I wouldn't even have started it, because that's too much for me. But I can do this. I can do this thing, kind of thing, that is just loose and like this. I love it. So yours will most probably be perfectly square. That's fine. Whatever makes you happy. But as soon as you feel like I did with, it's too much for me, the slow stitching, it's not going to work, it became a problem, turn to something else that comes more easy. Well, this is it. Love you lots. If I do something else in it that is now really another light bulb moment, I will share it. But otherwise, I think this is done. You can see my train of thought. Oh, I love something. It says, goes something like this. Once again, you need to lose your mind so that you can come to your senses. Isn't that deep? First it was funny to me, and then it clicked. We need to get to our senses. What do we sense? What do we feel? What is our heart telling us? You know, we need to get there. So we need to lose our minds. So that is a good thing. So I really lost my mind a lot while I was creating this. Losing my mind and just listening to my heart and just go for it. It was setting me free in so many ways, healing me. It was just a wonderful, wonderful experience. And that is what creating is. It needs to be life-changing. It needs to blow your mind. You need to lose your mind while you create so that you can start to walk, flow with your creative mind that's already in you, you know? We are creative beings. We're sent into this realm to create a beautiful life for us. And this is just one part of it. But I am learning so much. Love you lots. Thank you that I can share my journey with you. And if I can, then you can. See you soon, is it from Zetster's Lab. Thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing, for sharing, for commenting. I love it. I love it in the mornings when I get up and I open my YouTube and I see there on top is a 5 or a 6 or a 1 or a 2 comments, and I open it up and I hear what you have to say. It's lovely. I love it. And as I said, I think it was in yesterday's video, the YouTube, my channel is just helping me, assisting me to really excuse me, try new things. And it's setting me free. And what more can I ask? Be free and know all is well. So I'm sitting outside on my hammock. My dog is eating one of her shoes that we'll usually pick up. My gardener is here. My husband is fixing the car. And this is now, I think I will now go and finish this off. And then I will see what comes next. Love you lots.